Hi there, this is Josh Donnelly, and I'm going to tell you about NewsWhip's open access program and the free access we're providing to our partners going forward. So, this is really across three areas to utilize our predictive monitoring so you can forecast future crises or trends and stay ahead of them, but also automate a lot of work to save time on monitoring, on reporting, to let you focus on the important work. And then how we also inform your planning and research with our historical engagement media data to show what's worked before in terms of content, who are the best people to amplify that message, whether it's journalists, publishers, or social media profiles. So, what we're giving you is the opportunity to actually forecast into the future what stories are going to have the biggest impact across web, but also on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, or Pinterest, and soon to be Reddit. We can help you monitor all of these platforms and, importantly, the only technology that can predict the stories that will be most impactful into the future. But not only can we predict into the future, we can also show you what stories have had the biggest impact historically, whether that's the last week, month, year, or five. We're able to unpack larger themes to show what have audiences been engaging with most for anything, whether it is the US elections, different strands of environmentalism, or even the journalists that whenever they write about 5G, they get the most engagement. So to help inform your campaign planning, media planning, and content strategy, this is something really powerful that we're bringing and completely new. So to look at the technology really quickly and actually understand these predictive analytics, what we can do is we can look at our predictive monitoring platform, NewsWhip Spike. Now, this actually lets you monitor web and social to see in the future what stories will be most impactful. So, for example, here, if we click on this story card, we can see how much engagement a story has received now, but also into the future. So as you can see here, we're actually measuring the articles in a different way. We are partnered directly with Facebook, Twitter, and the different social platforms to measure how these articles are shared and engaged with across the different platforms so we can give you a different earned media metric. Now, if we wanted to look quicker, or let's say what's trending in the last 12 hours a bit sooner, or even back 2 months inside this view, we can. But let's say we wanted to look at something specific and we wanted to understand the Facebook ad boycott. We could search by keywords and we can say Facebook and boycott, for example. Now this will throw back all the stories that are referencing this particular keyword search. And again, we're able to see the stories that are generating the most engagement, where those stories are going in the next few hours, and also what social media platforms are amplifying these messages on Facebook as well as Twitter to understand who's generating the most retweets, the most engagements. So we can look across the web and Facebook, and what we could do then is add this to a dashboard really quickly to give us a multi-platform view. So not only can we look across web content, but here we can see on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, what are the stories that have been most impactful, specifically about the Facebook ad boycott. So we can give you that multi-platform view, a view into the future, and also a real-time view of what is having the biggest impact. But as well as that, we could even look over the last year or 30 days to understand in the UK, for example, just looking at a specific region for the same search of the Facebook ad boycott, where have the peaks of engagement been? What are the stories that have created the most engagement? And also, if we want to look at our leaderboard, who have been the journalists that have been writing most about Facebook? And again, what has been having the biggest impact if we want to look at their stories. So we can do this for anything. We can do this for 5G. We could do it for any topic to understand what are the most impactful journalists, publishers, or even social media profiles to help unpack basically what type of stories or influencers are really leading the engagement around a specific topic. So if you'd be interested, we'd be happy to show you more about the open access program itself. Please do get in touch. Thanks.